just talk about today. Today we wanna highlight the joint venture or the partnership, okay? Because I do know many of us plan programs, and when you plan a program, you wanna make sure you can reach more people in, and one way is to reach through joint venture or partnership. So, what is a joint venture? What's your definition of a joint venture?
Synergy, working with somebody else.
Okay. Mike, what's your definition of joint venture?
I'd say a mutual gain based on a specific project.
Okay.
Between two or more partners.
Okay. Rob, what do you think? What's your definition of joint?
The same as that with two or more partners.
Two or more partners. Okay.
Project oriented.
So, what's the difference between agency, or agents? If you hire agents, what's the difference between joint venture and agents?
An agent is somebody you just pay for the job done, but with joint venture there is more like a percentage or an agreement.
What about if the agent is commission based?
It's still not a joint venture.
It's still, like, even if the agent is a commission based.
Yeah.
So joint venture too is a sharing of the influences.
Okay.
Between the two parties.
Sharing of resources.
Yeah. So in other words, my circle of influence is different than your circle of influence.
Yeah.
But together, it creates a broader.
Okay. Let me pick up another word. What is about rep? Do you know representative or reps, industry reps or reps, somebody who represents you? What's the difference between joint venture reps and agents, in your opinion? And I'm trying to stimulate the discussion now because I will show you that none of them, all of them are the same.
Representative could be a salaried person.
Yes, I understand salary component, but if I took on commission only,
Okay.
so you have a commission or a salary. I understand the salary component, but if somebody is a rep, is a sales rep or agent rep or territory representative based on a performance or commission, is this the same as joint venture? Why? When Volvo or Toyota or any of these car manufacturers will come and hire or get someone to represent them in a province,
Yeah.
and let them use, like for example, McDonald's in Alberta for the longest time it only has one rep till about 2-3 years ago, where this rep withdrawn from all stores and kept only 4 in Calgary, and then other people will be able to hold McDonald's. We never knew this McDonald's Alberta company, but there was someone who was running the whole business on their behalf, getting their customers, serving them, and sending them commission. That's right. So I want to just understand from your minds, what's the difference between joint venture, agents, and reps? And when you think about representative, think about territorial. Think about somebody who can represent your company in another region.
Right. Joint ventures between companies, and an agent is like agents and or reps are a person. So my company could hire an agent or a rep, but I couldn't hire another company.
Okay.
So that's where I would sort of have the
Okay. Okay.
the line.
Very fair. Mike, do you want to contribute to this discussion?
Not at all.
Why? Okay. In
You're
our
just taking us down the rabbit hole.
in our world, as experts or speakers or people who wants to be authors or he wants to sell products, there is a very little differentiation between joint venture agents and reps. There's a very little. It's actually, there is no difference. If you want to set up a representative network, you need to have contracts and agreements. It's no different than joint ventures, because somebody representing your product in joint venture, which basically helping you selling more product to other people in exchange of a commission, they're the same. We have to treat them the same.
So an MLM is a joint venture then?
MLM is a form of joint venture. Because, so in industry, we understand agents and reps. And we want to go outside and have international representative, and we want to build international business developers. Sometimes you offer them salary. In joint venture, sometimes you offer them upfront payment. And sometimes you buy service in exchange. So sometimes you're gonna say, yeah, I will get your stage. I will pay you $1,000 or $10,000 to be on your stage. And you will deduct this from a percentage of how much sales I will do. Is it clear for everybody? If you have, if you want to discuss it more, we can discuss it more. You know, like, just I want to make sure few things, because when somebody say, "Are you a partner ready? Are you an agent ready? Or are you a JV, a joint venture ready?" What does it mean ready? Okay. So anyone here did before in his life representation or a franchise? So a franchise, if you build a franchise from scratch, if you have representative, if you have agents, if you have joint ventures, all of them will 98% of the requirements are the same. There's only few things are different, but they mean the same in different industry. So in the industry where we deal about information product selling and the expertise selling, joint venture is the term we use. In a hard industry or like brick and mortars industry, we talk about sales rep and sales agents, that's right. In the food industry, we talk about franchise. So you want to buy a franchise of McDonald's, franchise of Wendy's, Tim Hortons, Dairy Queens. These are franchise. Even Safeway and Canadian Tires.
I think Shoppers Drug Mart too.
Shopper Drug Mart is still owned by the one.
Is it?
Yeah. So if you understand La Couche or Max model, in Max store model, they set up the whole store, and all what they do is they hire somebody to manage the store. They got from him some deposits of like $20,000 or so. They give him training and they let him act as a store owner. However, he's store manager, because the one who owns the real estate is La Couche. It's not it's not him. It's not the individual. Tim Horton may have some models like that. McDonald's have alternative models where they just give you the signages and the decorations, and you pay the fees for that, and then but you own the land and you own the building, or you lease the land and you lease the building. Okay, do you agree on that? So when we look for joint venture, we have to use the same principles. Okay, so if I wanna tell somebody I wanna, or I'm open for joint, or I am ready for joint venture, what do I need? So if I wanna tell someone that you will go and you will help me selling these products, or positioning these products on your website, or pushing these products through your email list, or do any activity which help promote my product, what should I have in place? I should have, if you remember, the law was 3T. That's right. If I want to tell someone, I want you to do something for me, there are 3T. What are these T's?
Tell.
So I want to tell them what to do. What is the second T?
Treat.
Treat is the last one.
Don't jump ahead.
What is the second T? What is the second T?
Come up with
Try.
Tool. So if I want to come to say, would you mind offering my new book as part of your offers or to your audience? I must have a way to tell, I must have a tool, and I must have a treat. Does it make sense? Okay, so how do we tell these people? By creating a package. By creating a package for joint venture or for partners. So you must create a package. So this will be a joint venture invitation. Okay. Who here has have asking people before to sell their similar product to their or to sell their product? How did you approach them? Did you have a letter of intent or like an invitation letter?
No, I gave them. I actually went to Tools and Treat. I did not do a good job on the town.
Did you send them an email telling them I would like you to come and do that?
Yes.
So an invitation of letter of intent or an email is one step which you need to build. Okay? Then what will happen after that is you will have some sort of negotiation. It may not happen all the time.
Contract.
So some sort of negotiation will lead to a contract. So you must have some sort of terms and conditions. And these terms and conditions can take a form of contract or can take forms of an agreement or agree online. I come back and say, these are the frameworks. So if I don't have a written LOI, but I just have a good chat on a coffee shop and I will tell, would you like to be that? This is a letter of intent as well. So you don't approach people, or people will not approach you if you are not joint venture ready. What do you mean joint venture ready? It means that first one is I need to have an invitation or letter of intent, or an email invitation, or a verbal invitation, or a video invitation. I need to have express of interest. That's right. Or somebody else will say, I will not do that. What I will do is I can do an advertising. I can do an ad. So if you do an ad, if you do an advertise saying, I am here looking for, this means what? An invitation framework. Okay? Then, when you have this invitation framework, people would like to know your terms and conditions. And you must have at the end somewhere where they can sign up. So a sign up will be a tool where you can execute a contract. Okay? Some of us, like maybe two-thirds of us, are not into the industry where we need to have executed contract. Some of us can do lots of stuff online because we sell information product. We have tools. People will come sign up. People will have to have their terms and conditions, and they can sign up. The other part, you will need to have an agreement to show what they are getting and what they are doing for you and how they commit. Do you agree? So one step we will take maybe after lunch is we want to step and say how we can draft an invitation, how we can, what are the terms of conditions which you need to worry about them. Some of them may extend to the term of conditions of how they use your logos, how they use your material, and who will own it after that. Because sometimes if I take your tools and I take your logo and put them on my website, you need to retain the ownership of this logo. Otherwise, when you be a $1 million business a month, what will happen? I will just own, I can claim ownership of your logo. So there are some terms and conditions which we need to, I want you just to be aware of, and this is not a legal advice, it's just some provisions there, and then there are some templates which you can use. Make sure you understand that this is what's around what you have. Then you need to find a form for sign up. Any questions? What is the second T you'd like to discuss? Let's talk about the treat first, or let's talk about the tool. The tool is a long discussion. Let's just do the treat first.
Sure.
So what is in it for a partner or for a joint venture to join you? What's the benefits they will get?
Could be an exchange of their program, exchange of their offer.
Okay, so number one, exchange of their offer. What else they can look for? Financial. So usually people do this for the money. What else? Is there anything else? A joint venture.
Well, they can build each other's lists from
So
us.
building each other list, it means reach out. The reach. They can go to the reach. Reach means be in your stage, build my own list. Max, okay? So what is exchange?
Well, if you have a product or service that complements somebody else's product or service.
So complement
Yeah.
is one of them.
The other one is you provide each other services.
You serve each other. What is there anything else around exchange? So you have a complementary offer. What is a common example of a complementary offer?
Could be a download, ebook.
No, here we talk about the relationship between me and the partner.
Could be like a,
So
a
if I-
massage therapy with nutritional supplements.
So if I want to exchange benefits,
Right.
I want to get a complementary service. So massage therapy with nutrition, or massage therapy with fitness,
So accountant with financial planning or,
or accountant with bookkeeper.
Mortgage broker, realtor.
yeah.
Okay.
power
So this kind of complementary service, maybe interior designer with a builder or a framer, maybe an architecture office with a builder. So if you have a complementary service, this will be one way of exchange. What are the risks of this exchange?
You're co-branding yourself with somebody else, so that if they have something that's going on that doesn't line up with your value system, then you get dragged down with them.
So one of the challenges there, or one of the risks, is co-branding. What is the other? What is the risk of co-branding? On risk of failure. If you have unsatisfied customers, they will be unsatisfied by both brands. That's right. The second part is if you want to grow outside that, you may not be able, because these guys may want to keep you along, drag you along.
Or,
So-
or there's an anti-competitive thing in the agreement where if you decide to branch out on the side, on their side, then you're hooked.
Okay, so there is also a possibility of anti-competition or non-compete.
Non-compete clause.
Okay, so if a business coach will work with a personal coach and they will be very successful, and then they want to break up, there's a problem there, because the business coach, we don't know who really plays a game to make the partnership. It's like a marriage. I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just trying to highlight few things, because when we come and talk about the agreement here or the letter of intent, we have to highlight this. There's a third risk around money too. So the third risk is around money. So if you want to have a complementary offers, you need to be specific. How you can build the traffic, how you can get customers, and who is responsible for what, and who is making and keeping which money.
And email list.
Okay, and
Who's customer
ownership
ID?
of email lists. So ownership is another area, which is you can really investigate, like what is the ownership of the client list, the email list, the client contact information, the audience contact information, who owns what, and how this will be dissolved. The one thing I want you to understand is, or if you wanna, before, just to get you to answer this question first, all of us have been contracted or employed at one upon a time. That's right, in our life. When are the times where you actually hold and read through your contract of employment?
Just before you sign.
Before you sign.
Before you sign. When is the next time? Where is the second time?
When you get fired.
When you get fired or when there are problems. So contracting is the tool when we are how to agree when we are not in agreement. That's why the contracts and the term of conditions has to be elaborated, has to fix all the holes and the gaps, because you are trying to visualize that when we don't agree, how we will agree. So if we have no agreement, we need to agree on some terms. So you don't ever in your life diminish the value of terms and conditions. Okay? To give you a quick example, everybody will go to your website. How many of you here has a term and conditions or disclaimers or privacy for your statement for your website? Okay, I do. And any company which is developing anybody website, this is the first point which I don't see it. And that's why I know that these web developers are not strong company. They don't understand. So when somebody is enjoying your website, and after they enjoy your website and they interact with it for hours and days and months and years, and they have these particular cookies installed on their computer, they will go and complain about it. That's right. Because you installed these cookies without their consent. So now they are not in agreement with the service, they are not in harmony with your website. So how you protect yourself from that? You protect yourself from that inside your disclaimers, inside your privacy statement, inside your terms and conditions, inside your terms of use. So any website must have at least term of use or term and conditions or disclaimers or privacy or combination of them before.
One of the things for the cookies, because of the anti-spam legislation, you may have to put the cookie disclaimer when you're opting into your newsletter.
I understand, but the disclaimers are different than the term of use.
But you cannot protect, like, as I understand it, it is, you can't pause, it has to be an opt-in for them. It's not an opt-out thing. So if you put it in a disclaimer, you're saying by coming to this website, you're agreeing to all this.
Yep.
You're opting them in as a default, and that's not, that doesn't align itself with the anti-spam legislation. They have to actually click to say yes.
The anti-spam legislation protects them from receiving consequent information without their consent. But if I'm standing in front of your website and I see other logos of other companies, you must tell me somewhere in the term of use that these logos are owned by third party.
Would I agree with that?
Okay.
I'm talking about cookies.
So cookies, you should. There are some verbiage around it, which. So when somebody is coming to your download your software, or to access your website, or to sign up, you must bound them by terms and conditions.
Yeah.
And there are thousands of examples of different terms and conditions.
Yeah.
You can start somewhere. If you have a lawyer, it's great. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you can start somewhere and keep adding to them when you have problems.
Yeah, I even see on my iPhone, there's a little bar that comes up at the bottom saying, this site uses cookies, please click on here to accept them. And it's quite interesting, but that's part, the anti-spam legislation covers software implementation as well.
Yeah.
So they can't automatically opt you into these search bars and all that in your software installation.
Yes. So you must have a term of use where you can talk about this complementing service. Now, in exchange, you said serving each other. So what an example of serving each other?
Well, example would be if an accountant and a business coach, for example, do like a joint venture. The accountant, in lieu of payment may receive leads from the coach, and then the accountant would do the coach's accounting. So it would be like an exchange of service.
Okay. Do you agree on this model? Or do you have a different model for exchange of service?
It could be a 1-hour consult provided by the opposite party.
Okay. So it can be 1 hour consult, it can be exchange of service, like you provide leads in exchange of other service. Is it clear to everybody, like this is what we talk about the service? Some of these actually risks are overlapping. What about the second treat, which is the dollars? Does anybody work for free? Each one work for a value. The value can be monetized in the term of cash, or can be taken to a second level where he can monetize it elsewhere in a bigger cash. That's it. Nobody works for free. So, what is the risks around dollars?
Trying to enumerate where the money came from, like where the value came from.
So, where the value came from? What other risks around? What will make you attractive when somebody is coming to you and say you will give him money exchange? What are the boundaries there? The risk in money is maybe when I offer your program to my tribe, they will not buy it. That's right. So there is a risk of performance. If I have your program or if I have your service and I send it over to all my contact or all my lead or all my people I do know, or I host you in a store and give you a free wall to advertise your products, and nobody is buying it, how this guy will feel? Will he be interested to partnership with you? What will happen when these guys will be already burned out by other people? Burned out. Yeah, somebody came in and they couldn't buy, so they couldn't sell, they couldn't sell, they couldn't sell, they couldn't sell. What will happen when somebody is burned out? Will they be interested to listen to LOI?
Or they may, yeah, I don't think they'd be interested.
Okay. So if you say they are not interested, what should be included in the letter of intent?
Guaranteed.
Or a projection away from guarantee. Guarantee is a big word for us now, that's right. But some projection which shows how you will make money. That's
So like
right.
a business case?
Like a business case, or some fuzzy warm feeling saying, my program will sell that many and will convert that many. So if you put it out, you should have the same conversion rate. And here we have the egg chicken situation, because you are brand new coming out, but see, people need to understand what's your history and how other people make money out of you. Do you notice that? Do you agree on this?
Yeah. So you have to have a proven product, a proven penetration in the market. Once you've got that, then it becomes a very strong business case.
Yes. And how to create this is tricky. I can share with you a few examples, but the one example that came to my mind, there was a company named Spitz, and the Spitz is sunflower seed roasting company. They got acquired by PepsiCo, and this is the largest acquisitions in Alberta history, I believe, on an agriculture business. When they tried to, in the US, and they decided to go to be after 7-Eleven, what they did is they sent 2,000 bags to the rep in this state, and they asked him to give these bags for free to his family member in exchange of the following: that they will go to local stores, 7-Eleven, and they will show them the bag and they will ask to buy similar product. So imagine you stand in a 7-Eleven desk as a cashier, and somebody say, oh, would you mind if I can buy one more of these bags or two more of these bags? He will look at the new product and say what?
I don't have one.
I don't have, what is this?
Yeah, and then I'll start ordering it.
It took them 3 weeks. By the 4th weeks,
Brilliant.
they signed up a contract to distribute over 7-Eleven. when they have been selling boxes of and these boxes will go on consignment. So some stores you give them your products and they will not sell your product. They will make commission only. They don't buy your product. They call it consignment. So I will use your material. If somebody will come to buy it, I will give you some money back. Otherwise, you can take away your consignment.
Isn't that the way Walmart works?
This is Walmart, and this is also Max and many others like that. So the problem was when somebody is downloading the boxes they want to make sure that their boxes will go first to every store. So they paid the truck drivers 15% more than any other suppliers to distribute their product. So when the truck drivers will get down, which boxes he will pick up first to put in the store? Their boxes. Because they are paid to download these boxes at 15% higher than anybody else. And this information came in the PepsiCo announcement from the mouth of the founder. This is how he built this company. This company did not have lots of technology. They just use coffee beans roasters to roast sunflower seeds. That's it. And this is their patent. They didn't have anything else. And then they talked about so many different market penetration, like fillers using sunflower seeds, like M&M with peanuts inside, food filler. They talk about so many other potential for them. But this is the two things which I learned there, which was like, you can do that. You can go and you create a demand, so your products will be on the shelf. Okay? So when you promise somebody money by representing or offering your service or marketing your service, you must understand that this guy have he's desired by other people as well. So you are competing here against others. That's right. So maybe myself, maybe Marcel, maybe Mike, maybe Rob, all of the four of us have similar product of service, alike product of service, and Shamir will be the one who want to partner with. So each one of us is trying to give him a token or a treat better than anybody else to ask to get him to work with one of us. That's right. That's right. So when you start to do these particular collaborations, you have to understand this is the background. People are busy with their current partnership. What will disturb the current partnership to get you in as a new one? Okay. Any questions? So I have a question. What is the percentage of dollars usually? So you can get dollars in two ways. You can basically rent. You can rent their contact list or their emailing list, or you can rent their website banner, like advertising a banner, or you can share. You can work on revenue sharing. So you can come to somebody and say, you know, Mike, you have been dealing with so many business owners, and I do have a business where I will help business owners. It's not relevant to your company. Would you mind if you send this particular ad to all of your mailing list, and I will pay you like $100 per time or $1,000, a number, to rent? Or would you mind give me an access to your mailing list for 1 month? So this is inclined or implicitly means that Mike has a way to give you access to the mailing list without stealing it, okay? Or without copying, okay? Steal is a bad word, okay? Without copying it, right? So maybe some of the tools when you grow up in this business and you have like million users or 100,000 users in your mailing list, you may want to consider figure out how to use tools where you can get somebody to send an email to these tools, you approve it, but the individual will not even access the individual emails. We got so many questions. Infusionsoft, MailChimp, Constant Contact. We got so many questions. Which one should I use? Okay, the one you can afford. However, if you are going in this path, which one you should use. Is the one who gave you this particular tools.
How does that work with the, again, anti-spam legislation when you rent your list out to somebody else?
If I am sending the information to them with inviting them to your workshop, is perfectly fine. So because you are using my they still see the same offer.
So somebody else could be accessing your email, but they wouldn't have the specifics of the contact information. They would just be sending out an email under your authority.
Yes.
It still comes from your company.
Yes.
But the links would take them
Yes.
to the other.
And one more thing I have to understand as well, which is it got me to do less things in Canada, by the way. Anti-spam legislation exists where?
Canada. Well, everywhere.
No, it exists in Canada, in US, in UK, a few number of companies in UK, in Europe, in EU.
US has it now too?
US has a. It's not called the same castle. It's called something else. But US has a strange version of what we have.
Theirs is.
However, you have to understand one thing. If you are a Canadian operating firm, you are under the law where you exist. So if I go sell to the US, or if I go sell to Europe, most likely these legislations are not inbounding and not enforcing on me because I'm a stranger. They cannot even go after me. They cannot shut down me. Majority of our customers may not exist in these domains. May exist in Pakistan, in India, in Hong Kong, in some other places where this is the cow milking machines. Okay,
Yeah.
this is real money. So if you have the real money elsewhere, you may not want to even consider all of this castle because they have nothing over there. The second thing, and I'm not giving a legal advice, you may want to do your due diligence on every single territory, but this castle is huge here in Canada. There are maybe a very handful of companies, maybe, or little more of companies have been slammed, and when they slam you or slap your hand is not really a big fine, but some of them paid big fine as well. So the cases of application is not huge, and it's only concern us because we sell in Canada. But if you decide to build your business elsewhere, you may not even have to worry about this. I know it always comes all the time. When we talk about email, it comes all the time. Okay? So one way to get around this is to have a not-for-profit organization, because
Yeah,
because when I'm my organizations are not-for-profit organization for a reason, for so many reasons. Okay, but there are so many ways. So when somebody comes and say how I will set up my company, you say, okay, so what are you doing here, and what are you doing in the product, and what are you doing here? Now let's just think about, okay, so what is the best format for you to represent yourself? Okay, so the other question around revenue sharing would be is how much? What are the average standard in the market right now?
25, 30%? No?
It's not, no, I'm just we are just brainstorming.
Most of the affiliate programs I see are up to 50%.
Okay.
Depends on who's doing the work. Like if all I'm getting is access to an email list, but I have to do all the emails myself, then my offer would be 25 to 30%. If they're co-branding with me and they're doing it,
Okay, so let's just talk about that. So 25 to 30%. The other numbers are 50%.
sure.
What other numbers do you have in mind? Is that it?
Well, for me, I was thinking 10 to 15%.
10 to 15%. Get that. We will put all the numbers and then we will brainstorm around them, okay? All the outcome from this day to day is you will have the letter of intent, you'll have an idea what are the tools should look like. So if you want to really pursue a joint venture ready program, you will have the components, and then we can polish them when we meet on Saturday. So you will have a piece of your business built in this area, and if somebody will come and try to join as a joint venture, you need to devote more time to do the little ones in the front. Remember, always my philosophy is, if I can be ready, if the job will take 4 weeks, okay, I will prepare the material required for the first week. That's right. And then I will go pre-sell it, and when somebody comes, I will devote the 3 weeks to fulfill the requirement, because I don't want to prepare everything to be ready, and then what will happen? Nobody's coming to buy this, right? So you said 10 to 15%.
So by all with my sponsors, that could be as a joint venture too, right?
Yep.
So I know I have a sliding scale. They bring in so many.
It can be sliding scales.
So I have from 10 to 30.
You have from 10 to 30.
Depending on what they bring in.
It could be performance incentives too.
These are performance incentive, because this is when people buy.
Above 10 clients, it could jump to 45%.